Marama Fox.
Tēnā koe te mana whakawā. Anō nā ka tuku mihi kia koutou. Ko hui nei tēnei rangi. He rangi whakahira tēnei. E tika me pānui hia te hītori o tēnei rohe, o Taranaki iwi, o Atiawa, ki roto I te puka o Paremata nei, ko te Hansard tēnā. The Hansard is where we record every single word that is uttered in this house. For time and all memorial, you will be able to look back and find the words discussed about your people, our people, this nation in this house. In fact, the first time I understood that, I had been reading a research paper into the native schools of Aotearoa, and the native schools, it said in the Hansard, in the debate in this house, it said, the time has come to decide whether we should exterminate the natives or civilise them. I went, no way, they didn't actually use those words. Well, yes, they did. And we found them in the Hansard of this house in discussing the Native Schools Act in 1867. And so when I entered Parliament a little over a year ago now, first thing I did was roam the hallways looking for the place they discussed that. I wanted to see the seats those men sat in when they talked about exterminating our people. I wanted to see the building that housed that debate. I was happy to find that it had been burnt down in a fire, and what we stand in today in the adjoining buildings is what was replaced. I thought, well, there you go. Though the fire burnt down the building, the record remains. The record of those discussions of the extermination of our people. And so it is right that we read into the history of this place the names of our rangatira, the injustices that were carried out against them in Taranaki and Atiawa. In fact, it's very difficult to sit here as a member of Parliament and listen to that record. The first time I did it, I was bawling. I just could not believe that I was sitting here listening to the injustice of this place on our people. And see, that's why I got a tissue, because it is hard, it is difficult. And it's difficult not just for us here, obviously, it is far more difficult for you all and for our tamariki, our mokopuna. And then we think of all of those ancestors who didn't make it to this day. When 30 years ago they started to talk about bringing a claim. When 20 years ago they prepared the papers. When all through the years since they've been negotiating, trying to get some settlement. And think of those who didn't make it to see the outcome of their efforts. Adrian Rudafé described the magnitude of these things. So let's talk about the magnitude for a little bit. Because here is the real life magnitude of the treaty process and the settlement of this country. When I walk out of the Wellington train station, I'm met with a statue of Mahatma Gandhi. Fantastic. I like Gandhi, he's a good guy. But where is Te Whiti o Rongomai? And where is Tohu Kākahi? Mahatma Gandhi, it's reputed that he took his stance on peaceful protest from their movement, from your movement. And yet there's his proud statue standing there. And I look around and go, what country am I in? Where are the symbols of our people that recognise their great sacrifice and their foundation in the way that we view one another? In all humility, despite everything that was thrown against them, still stood up and said, I am here for peace. Te Whiti o Rongomai, 1881, in which he talked about Parihaka, said, though the lions rage, still I am for peace. Though I be killed, I yet shall live. Though dead, I shall live in peace which will be the accomplishment of my aim. The future is mine, and little children, when asked hereafter as to the author of peace, shall say, not Mahatma Gandhi, but Te Whiti, and I will bless them. Oh my goodness, that's the magnitude of what we have to overcome in our time, right now, in every moment we sit in this house, every time we debate whether or not we want to recognise someone's treaty rights in this bill or that bill, every time we come here and debate with the government of the day how we can try to redress the disparities that have come about through years and years of the things that have been described here today. We have to uphold the legacy of Te Whiti. It is by no accident that we have a members' bill now in my name, but to be fair, I took it over from my learned Te Shark, Te Ururoa, for Parihaka Day. It's no accident. And yet just in last week, we met two beautiful young women coming to us with a petition about the land wars because they never knew, growing up in the school, in the place where they lived, that just down the road, raupatu, war, the loss of life and settling of this land had happened just down the road. Because we don't teach it in our schools. We don't tell the shared history of our nation. Our children do not know that more lives were lost in the settling of this land by Kiwis, New Zealanders, than in the First World War for our people. And yet we do not acknowledge it. And so Parihaka has become a symbol of not just peace, but of future. With the group that has been headed and chaired by the Honourable Dame Tariana Turia, in all your humility, you have not looked to the grievances of the past, but you've looked to the future to find ways forward to change the situation that we find ourselves in. I honour you, your resilience and your strength, and your determination to hold on to the white feather, not as some people want to label it as a symbol of cowardice. Please, let's embrace our own symbols. That feather represents the peaceful movement and the actions of great rangatira that we can emulate today through forward progressive thinking, and that we as a government can join with that group, your people, our tamariki, to carve out a place of the way we should live in a duality of nationhood for time and forever. Mr. Speaker, I'm honoured and humbled to be here today in the presence of these people and to recognise the efforts of their ancestors in carving out this nation. I commend this bill to the House. Tēnā koutou katoa.